Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're back with a pick a card reading and we're gonna find out your versus their current energies. So we'll be finding out the feelings, emotions and intentions of both of you guys. And we have three piles to choose from. This would be pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. So I'm gonna show you a close-up of the card and the crystals, and you can pick according to your intuition. So first card would be Fall Into My Arms. And the stone opalite. Pile number 2 would be the Great Severing. With the moonstone. Pile number 3 is You're Not For Everyone, with the tiger's eye. So all the timestamps will be listed down below, and I'll see name piles. Hello pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So those of you who picked the opalite stone or the Fall Into My Arm cards, let's get started with their oracle card first. So it says, Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extreme of life. So this energy is basically telling you to let go of control a little. You might be trying to figure everything out, balance everything, or understand every emotion. But this card is saying you that you don't have to force it. And sometimes things might feel confusing because you're being pulled between two extremes, like wanting this connection but also wanting to protect yourself. Or you might be feeling really close one moment and distant the other. So that's what this card is letting you know. This might be the feeling that you might be feeling. And we have the opalite stone, and this is a very soft and calming energy. It's about emotional balance and easing anxiety. So the message here is you don't need to chase clarity right now, and just allow things to unfold. Trust your feelings and don't resist what you're experiencing. So we will start with your cards now. We are gonna pull 7 piles each for both of you to see your current energy and intentions. So starting with yours on the left, what are your feelings towards them? First. Pile. The Hanged Man in reversed. Ace of Pentacles. Empress in reverse. 9 of Wands. Of Swords. 9 of Cups. The Lovers. 7 of Wands in reverse. Alright, so let's get into your pile. I'm about to start with your energy first, and then we'll move on to the other side and see what's really going on between both of you. So first, on your side, we're starting with the Justice in reverse and the Hermit card. So I feel like you've been doing a lot of internal processing. You might have felt like something about this situation hasn't been fair or hasn't gone the way it should have. And there's this energy that you're trying to understand why things played out the way that it did. And you might have been questioning either their actions or your own action or just the whole situation in general. The Hermit card, it tells me that you've pulled back a bit and you might not be expressing everything that you feel right now. You could be taking space, reflecting, or you might even be isolating yourself emotionally. And you're trying to figure things out. And this might be the kind of situation where you're not really telling other people everything about what's going on, and you're just trying to deal with it internally. Then we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and I feel like it's getting a bit overwhelming for you. Like you're tired of going back and forth. You might feel like you've been juggling your emotions and trying to stay balanced, trying to stay patient, but it's starting to feel like it's too much. And this could look like you thinking, I can't keep doing this up and down energy anymore. Then there is the Strength card. And the Strength card is really important because it shows that even though you're feeling all of this, you're holding yourself together and you're showing a lot of emotional control. You're trying not to react impulsively and you're trying to stay strong, even if inside you feel like things are a bit chaotic. Then we have the Emperor in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. And this is where I feel like your frustration is coming in. You might feel like this person hasn't shown up the way you expected them to, and maybe they've been inconsistent, or maybe they haven't taken the control of the situation, or maybe they're not even communicating properly. And because of that, you might be holding back your truth. So the Queen of Swords reversed can sometimes show that someone who has a lot to say but chooses not to say it. Either you're trying to avoid some sort of conflict, or because they feel like it wouldn't change anything anyways. Then we have the Hangman in reverse. And with the Hangman in reverse, I feel like you're reaching a point where you don't want to stay stuck anymore. You've been patient and you've been understanding, but now it's like you're starting to shift your perspective. You might be thinking like, I can't keep waiting like this, or something has to change in this situation. So overall, your energy feels like someone who has been patient for a long time, tried to understand everything, but now you're getting tired of the imbalance and starting to want clarity and movement. Now let's take a look at their energy. And from this side, we're starting with the Ace of Pentacles. And this person does see potential here. They do see that this is something real or something that could grow. This isn't someone who looks at you as just temporary. This is a genuine interest in building something with you. But then right after that, we have the Empress in reverse, and this shows me that they're not fully able to nurture this connection the way they should right now. This could be because they're not fully in their emotional power yet, or they don't feel fully confident in themselves. And the Nine of Wands, this tells me that they're guarded. And this is someone who has been through a lot. They might have been hurt before, or now they have their walls up right now. So even though they see the potential, they're not fully open yet. Then we also have the Four of Swords. This shows that they are in a resting or healing phase. This might be someone who is taking a step back, trying to recover from something, or just needing time before they fully invest. And now what's interesting is we have the Nine of Cups and the Lovers card. because emotionally they do feel happy when it comes to you, and there is attraction, there is emotional satisfaction, and there is also a genuine connection here. The lover especially, it shows that this is not random. This is a strong bond, or there is a strong pull between you guys. But then the Seven of Wands in reverse, this shows that they might struggle to stand up for this connection or to fully fight for it right now. This could be someone who avoids pressure or backs down when things get a little bit too intense. So their energy overall, it feels like someone who does feel like the connection is, who does feel the connection, and they do see the potential, but they are really guarded right now, and they're trying to heal, and they're not fully ready to step up in the way you might need it right now. Now, tying it all together with your oracle card, fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extreme of life. This makes a lot of sense right now because your energy is trying to understand, fix, and push towards clarity, while their energy is slower, more guarded, and still healing. So this message here is not to force things. This connection is sitting in a space between two extremes, like wanting something real but also not being fully aligned yet. And that's exactly what the card is saying. You don't need to control the outcome right now. You don't need to rush the process. This might even be the case where the more you try to push for answers, the more stuck it feels, and the more you just allow things to unfold, the clearer everything becomes. So overall, this feels like a real connection, but one that requires patience, emotional balance, and most importantly, you need to surrender the need to control how and when it all comes together. I hope this pile resonated with you. Thank you so much for stopping by. If it resonated with you, please leave some comments down below. I'd love to read them. Thank you so much. See ya. Hello, pile number 2s. Welcome to your reading. So those of you who picked the Moonstone or the Great Severing card, let's start with the Oracle card. So you got the Great Severing, anger, conflict, and softening to love. And right away, this is intense but a very healing energy as well. So the Great Severing talks about cutting cords, emotional detachment, or going through some kind of separation or internal conflict. This could be anger you've felt toward this person, or even frustration that's built up over time. It doesn't have to be explosive anger either. Sometimes this might be quite resentment, or like feeling hurt but not fully expressing it. This might be the kind of situation where things didn't end cleanly, or where emotions were left unresolved. You might have felt like something needed to be said or something needed to be released, but it's just staying inside. But what's really important is the second part of the card, that's softening to love. So this isn't about just cutting off, this is about healing after the conflict. It's about moving from anger or pain but into a softer, more open emotional space, whether that's with this person or within yourself. And with the Moonstone, this adds a very intuitive emotional layer. Moonstone is all about cycles, feelings, and inner clarity. It connects to your intuition and your emotional body. So this tells me you're being guided to trust how you feel, even if those emotions are changing or confusing right now. So we will get started with your oracle cards, and I'm gonna pull 7 piles each. Left one would be your side and right one would be their side. So let's start with your card first. This flipped off, the Empress in reverse, and Ace of Pentacles. This flew out, the World card, and 6 of Pentacles in reversed, more cards. Judgment. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, one more card. Four of Swords in reverse. Now their side. Oh. Queen of Wands. Knight of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Death card in reverse. And Page of Swords in reverse. One more card. Eight of Wands. So I'm starting your pile and it started to rain very heavily. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it, but okay. So this pile is your energy and this pile is their energy. Let's get started with your energy first. So looking at your side, the first card that you received is the Empress in reverse, and the next card is the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like there's a contrast that you're feeling. So you might be feeling undervalued but still wanting something real. And you might have felt like you weren't fully appreciated in this situation, or like you were giving more than you were receiving emotionally. The Empress in reverse, it can sometimes show that someone who felt unchosen or not fully nurtured. This might be your case, or where you were pouring more into this connection but it didn't feel the same energy that you were receiving back. But then the Ace of Pentacles, it shows that despite that, you still saw potential here, and you might have wanted something stable, something real, something that could actually grow into something long-term. Then we have the World card and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And it feels like you've reached a point of understanding. A part of you might feel like the cycle has completed, or at least you're realizing what balance should actually look like in a connection. The Six of Pentacles in reverse, it tells me that you want equal give and take. You don't want to overextend yourself anymore, and you might be thinking, if I'm giving this much, I need the same in return. And you're very valid for that. Then you have the Judgment card next, and it is a really powerful card because it shows awakening. So you're seeing things clearly now. You might be reflecting on the past and realizing what worked and what didn't, and what you deserve moving forward. But then you have the Queen of Pentacles reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse, and this tells me that you're still not fully at peace yet. You might be trying to move on or stabilize yourself, but there is still some resistance and restlessness. This could be that you're trying to distract yourself, but your mind keeps going back to this situation. So your energy feels like someone who has learned a lot, is waking up to their worth, but you're still in process of emotionally settling after everything. Now let's move on to their side. And we are starting with the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So this person comes through very strong, very direct, very confident. This could be someone who knows how to take action and someone who can be very bold in how they communicate or approach things. This might be the kind of person who comes in quickly, says what they feel in the moment, or they might act on impulse. Then with the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, I actually see that they do have a softer side, and there is interest there, and they have some sort of emotional curiosity. They might want to reach out, learn more about you, or even express something small but genuine. But right after that, we hit the Death in Reverse card, and this is where things get stuck. So, this person struggles with letting go or fully transforming. They might be holding on to old patterns, old situations, or even fear the change. This could be someone who wants something new, but they're still tied to the past in some sort of way. Then we have the Page of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Wands. And I feel like the communication is inconsistent. There might be moments where things move forward quickly and messages come in, things feel active, but then suddenly it slows down or becomes unclear again. This could look like mixed signals, and one moment they're present, but the next they're distant. So their energy feels like someone who is attracted, curious, and interested, but not fully stable in how they express it. Now, you also receive the Oracle card, the Great Severing, anger, conflicts, and softening to love. So this makes much more sense now, because your side, it shows that someone who felt unbalanced and is now waking up to their worth, and while their side, it shows someone who is still inconsistent and stuck in old patterns. So the conflict here feels real, and the frustration you may have felt, it is very valid. But the softening to love part is important, and this doesn't necessarily mean going back to how things were before. It means releasing the anger, releasing the emotional heaviness, and returning to a place where your heart is not closed off. For some of you, this could mean healing this connection in a healthier way, but for some of the rest, it might mean letting go with peace instead of resentment. And with the Moonstone, this is about emotional cycles. So this situation may have had its own ups and downs, phases, and emotional waves, but now you're being guided to trust your intuition and allow yourself to move into a more softer and more balanced emotional space. So overall, this feels like a connection that taught you a lot about your worth and your boundaries and what you truly need. And now you're being guided to choose peace, clarity, and emotional balance moving forward. Thank you so much, pile number 2. Hope this reading resonated with you, and if it did, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to read it. See you in your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 3s. Welcome to your reading. So those of you who picked the card You're Not For Everyone or the Tiger's Eye Stone, let's get started with your Oracle card first. So you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. And I'm already loving this energy because it feels very empowering. This is a message about authenticity and about not shrinking yourself to be light, not over-explaining yourself, and not trying to fit into spaces or connection that don't naturally align with you. This might be the kind of situation where you felt misunderstood or like you had to adjust parts of yourself just to keep the connection going. Maybe you felt like you were too much in some sort of way or not fully accepted for who you are. But this card is saying you're not supposed to be for everyone, and the right person will not require you to tone yourself down. It's also asking you to face your true north, which means being honest with yourself about what you actually want, not what's comfortable and not what's familiar, but what truly actually aligns with you. And with the Tiger's Eye, this adds confidence, courage, and grounded decision making. This is not soft, passive energy. This is you standing firm in who you are and what you deserve. So, love this pile. Now we will start with the tarot cards, and I'm gonna pull 7 cards each for your energy on the left side and their energy on the right side. So let's start with yours first. Pile number 3, 5 of Cups. King of Cups. reverse, Knight of Cups, Ace of Swords in reverse, and Knight of Wands and the Sun in reverse. Energy that flew out, but received the Queen of Pentacles in reversed, the Two of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles in reversed. Four of Pentacles in reverse, the Hermit, the Hierophant, two cards, but I'm being more drawn towards this card, and that is the Three of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to start with your energy first and then move on to their side and see what's really going on between you two. So on your side, we are starting with the Five of Cups and the King of Cups. So I feel like there's been a deep emotional layer here. You might have experienced disappointment in this connection. Something didn't go the way you hoped for, or you feel like you lost something that meant a lot for you. But what's interesting is, even though that disappointment, your feelings didn't just disappear. The King of Cups, it shows emotional depth, maturity, and genuine care. So this might be the kind of situation where you still have love for this person, even if things didn't fully work out the way you wanted. And with the Strength in reversed and the Knight of Cups in reversed, I feel like your confidence in this situation has been shaken. You might have started questioning yourself, or maybe you felt like you gave emotionally and didn't receive the same energy back. Or you might have felt rejected in some sort of way. This could be you holding back even now, even though you still have feelings for them. Or you might be feeling like expressing your emotions, it didn't lead to the outcome that you expected. And then with the Ace of Swords in reversed, there's definitely confusion or lack of clarity. You might feel like you never got the truth, or like things were left unsaid. This could be a situation where communication wasn't clear, or where you're still trying to understand what really happened. But then the Knight of Wands, it comes in and it shifts your energy a bit. So this feels like you starting to take your power back. You might be reaching a point where you're like, I can't stay stuck in this anymore, and you want movement back again. And you want to feel confident, alive, and in control of your own direction. However, with the Sun in reversed, it's like happiness is still a little bit blocked for you right now. You're getting there, but you're not fully in that light yet. And you might still have moments where you feel a bit low, or where this situation, it might still affect your mood. So looking at your energy overall, it feels like you are someone who felt deeply and you care deeply about them, but you got hurt or disappointed, and you're still in the process of processing your confusion, but you're starting to slowly reclaim your confidence and trying to move forward. Now, taking a look at their energy, we are starting with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Two of Swords. And this person, they feel emotionally closed off. They might not be fully grounded or stable within themselves right now. And the Two of Swords, it shows avoidance. So this could be someone who avoids making decisions or avoids facing emotions directly. This might be the kind of person who knows that there's something to address, but instead of dealing with it, they stay in this neutral blocked state. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles in reversed, and I feel like they might have felt impatient or unsure about investing in this connection. So This could be someone who didn't fully see the long-term growth at that time or didn't want to put in consistent effort. Then we also have the Four of Pentacles in reversed. This shows that they are slowly letting their guard down, but it's not fully there yet. There is still hesitation, but they're not as closed off as they once were before. Then we receive the Hermit card. This shows that they've gone inwards internally and they are doing some reflection. They are reflecting, thinking, and they're trying to understand themselves. They might be taking their space or just not being very expressive right now because they're still processing things internally. Then we have received the Hierophant, and this is interesting because it shows that deep down they do understand what commitment means and they do understand structure and long-term connection even if they didn't fully act on it before. The next card is the Three of Wands. This shows looking ahead. So this person might be thinking about the future right now, thinking about possibilities, thinking about what could have been or what could still be. So looking at the overall energy of their side, it looks like there's someone who avoided things before, didn't fully invest, but is now reflecting and starting to think more seriously, even if they're still not fully expressing it. Now, tying this all together with your Oracle card, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. And this message is very clear because your energy, it shows that someone who gave emotionally and may have felt misunderstood, or they might not have fully received what they deserved. And while their energy, it shows that someone who hasn't fully opened up or they are ready to meet you at that level yet. So the lesson here isn't to change yourself to fit them, it's to realize that you deserve someone who naturally understands you, values your emotional depth, and doesn't make you question your own worth. And this connection may have made you feel like you were a little too much or like you had to adjust yourself. But the truth is, you were just not aligned with someone who could fully meet you where you were right now. And with the Tiger side, this is about stepping back into your confidence and trusting your path, choosing yourself even when it's hard. So overall, this feels like a situation that taught you a lot about your emotional depth and your worth. But now you're being guided to move toward what truly aligns with you instead of trying to make something fit that never actually did. So I hope this reading resonated with you. Thank you so much, pile number 3s, for staying with me, and I would appreciate if you could leave down a comment below if it resonated with you. Thank you so much. See you in the next reading. Bye.